deep in the darkest corners of the world, kilometers below the surface. Is it a monster or a miracle? Think about it for a second. You can stay underwater for a full 90 minutes without taking a breath. You can dive 3,000 meters deep without your body being crushed. And in that darkness, when your eyes are completely useless, you can hunt your prey by sending sound waves through your own head. This isn't a superhero. This is the sperm whale. So how does this giant creature do all of this? Why is a third of its head filled with oil? And why does humanity's relationship with this animal have such a dark history? Today, we're diving deep into the secrets of the sperm whale, secrets that will leave you and even scientists in awe. But unlocking these mysteries wasn't easy. For decades, these giants remained an enigma. So where do we even begin to understand a creature like this? So what kind of brain does a creature have that can dive this deep and hold its breath for this long? Prepare to be amazed. The sperm whale's brain is not just big, it's the largest brain of any creature that has ever lived on Earth. It weighs an average of 9 kilograms. Our brain, on the other hand, is only 1.4 kilograms. That means this whale has a brain nearly 6 times the size of ours. But does a bigger brain mean a smarter brain? Scientists have discovered that sperm whales communicate with each other, mourn their young, and pass knowledge down from generation to generation. Some research even suggests that these whales have their own distinct dialects. Sperm whales from different oceans use different patterns of sound, just like us. On top of that, these animals are social creatures. Females and their young form family groups that travel together for years. They look out for each other, they teach each other, and when they lose one of their own, they grieve. So here's the question: if an animal can learn, feel, and remember, how accurate is it to call it just an animal? So where in the ocean does this giant with such an advanced brain actually live? The answer is pretty striking. Sperm whales are among the mammals that hunt in the deepest waters on Earth. In the deepest known dive, a sperm whale descended below 3,000 meters. But how? At that depth, the water pressure is so intense that a normal human body would be crushed within seconds. So how does the sperm whale withstand it? Because evolution has designed this animal's lungs and rib cage to be flexible enough to handle the pressure. Its body essentially collapses inward but takes no damage. If you've made it this far and the secrets of this whale have you just as fascinated, subscribe to my channel right now, because what I have left to tell you is so much more interesting than this. On top of that, at these depths, not a single photon of sunlight can reach. Pure, absolute darkness. A world where sight is completely useless. Don't forget to like this video, because you're only just now beginning to discover the most fascinating whale you've ever known. So here's the question we have to ask: how does it find its prey in this darkness? Before we get to the answer of the question we just asked, let's think about this. This whale dives 3,000 meters deep. So how long can it hold its breath during that dive? The average person, when pushing their limits, can hold their breath for 1 to 2 minutes. Professional divers, at most 8 to 10 minutes. The sperm whale, a full 90 minutes, an hour and a half, without breathing, kilometers deep. So how is this even possible? The blood and muscles of sperm whales can store oxygen far more efficiently than ours. During a dive, the heart rate drops dramatically, and blood is redirected only to the most critical organs. The brain and heart keep working, while everything else is essentially put on standby. Its body switches into a kind of survival mode. While you can't even hold your breath during a stressful moment, This whale hunts for hours in pitch-black darkness, completely calm, under crushing pressure. But doesn't it need to see in order to hunt? Then it must be using something other than its eyes. This is exactly where the sperm whale's perhaps most unusual and most astonishing feature comes into play. In that absolute darkness where eyes are completely useless, this whale uses sound to find its prey. But not just any sound. Through a specialized organ inside its head, it sends out incredibly powerful and focused clicking sounds. The scientific world calls these clicks. These clicks travel through the water, hit an object, and bounce back. By analyzing these echoes, the sperm whale can detect the exact location, size, and speed of its prey. But do you have any idea just how powerful this sound is? The sound produced by the sperm whale holds the record as the loudest biological sound ever recorded on Earth. It can reach up to 230 decibels. A jet aircraft produces around 140 decibels. So this whale is capable of producing sounds far louder than a jet engine. Some researchers even claim that when used at close enough range, this sound can temporarily stun its prey. Nature gave this whale a weapon millions of years ago, and that weapon is sound itself. But a sound like this coming from a head must require a very unique structure, right? And that structure is truly fascinating. Speaking of that unique structure, let's take a look at the sperm whale's most mysterious anatomical feature. Nearly a third of this whale's head is filled with a special fatty substance called spermaceti. A single sperm whale can carry up to 2.5 tons of this oil inside its head. That means it's carrying almost 2.5 tons of liquid fat flowing inside its skull. So what does this oil actually do? Scientists struggled with this question for many years. According to the most widely accepted theory today, this oil acts as a lens to focus and direct the clicking sounds the whale produces. Much like a speaker directs sound waves toward a specific direction. If you've made it to this point and feel just as fascinated by this whale as we are, like this video because every like helps content like this reach more people. But there's another theory. The density of this oil changes with temperature. When it cools, it gets heavier. When it warms, it gets lighter. Some researchers believe the whale uses this property to control its diving depth, like a natural ballast tank. If you're hearing about such a fascinating topic for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. This kind of content is here every week. One organ, 2 different functions, millions of years of evolution. And write in the comments what you're thinking as you watch this video, which feature of this whale surprised you the most. What a marvel, right? And it was this very marvel, this mysterious oil, that for centuries blinded humanity with a greed so profound it would forever change the fate of these giants. But we haven't reached that dark chapter of history just yet. So what does this giant creature do when it gets tired? It sleeps, but not the way you'd expect. Sperm whales sleep completely upright at the water's surface. Heads up, tails down, hanging there completely still. The first sailors to ever witness this sight thought the whales were dead. Some even tried to approach and touch them. So why do they sleep upright? We don't have a definitive answer just yet, but the most widely accepted theory is that this position makes it easier for the whales to quickly rise to the surface to breathe. While standing upright, they can reach the surface in just a few seconds when danger strikes. But here's the strangest part of all these whales sleep very little. They get only 7 to 24 minutes of sleep per day. So this creature, with the largest brain on Earth, spends almost its entire day awake. And despite this lack of sleep, it continues to hunt in the deepest, darkest parts of the ocean, communicate, and lead its family groups. Now, think about this. How did an animal with such remarkable features come to find its place in human history? And that place, sadly, is anything but honorable. This giant, which had lived silently in the depths of the oceans for millions of years, one day appeared on humanity's radar. And from that day on, nothing was ever the same. In the 18th and 19th centuries, sperm whale hunting grew into a massive industry across the world. So why did people want this whale so badly? The answer was hidden in that mysterious oil. Spermaceti was the highest quality lighting oil known at the time. It burned in the candlesticks of wealthy homes, in street lamps, and in factories. On top of that, it was used to lubricate the gears of watches, in cosmetic products, and in medicines. If you're hearing these historical facts for the first time, subscribe to my channel because content like this isn't so easy to find anywhere else. The sperm whale, in other words, was the most valuable resource of its time. Hundreds of ships from dozens of countries set out into the ocean. Hunters spent months, even years at sea searching for these whales. If this story is making you uncomfortable deep down, like this video, because the more people who watch, the more this animal's story gets heard. In the 18th and 19th centuries alone, it is claimed that more than 300,000 sperm whales were lost. Think about that. These beings that could learn, feel, grieve, and speak their own language. For centuries, they were extensively hunted solely for the oil inside their heads. And this intensive hunting continued into the 20th century. It only grew larger. So what is the situation today? Has the threat truly come to an end? Here we are at the heaviest question of all. And the answer is far more complicated than you might think. Sperm whales are currently listed as a vulnerable species, meaning they're not extinct, but they are under threat. It is estimated that between 300,000 and 450,000 sperm whales remain worldwide. That might sound like a lot. But when you consider that before the 19th century this number was expressed in the millions, the severity of the situation becomes clear. And this is exactly where the real problem begins. Sperm whales are very slow reproducing animals. A female whale can give birth to only 4 to 6 calves in her entire lifetime. Each pregnancy lasts approximately 16 months. And the calf remains dependent on its mother for years. This means that rebuilding the population can take decades, even centuries. So every individual lost is a loss that is very difficult to compensate for this species. Scientists are sounding the alarm. If serious steps are not taken to combat ocean noise, plastic pollution, and climate change, this situation could get much worse. This giant, which has survived in the depths of the oceans for millions of years, may be living through the most critical period in its history. And this time, the greatest threat isn't a harpoon, it's us. So how will the end of this story be written? The answer to that question is in our hands. And here is where we stop. At the end of the story of a creature born in the deepest darkness of the ocean that has survived for millions of years, that can learn, feel, grieve, and speak its own language. The largest brain in the world. Record-breaking dives, holding its breath for 90 minutes. A hunting technique where sound becomes a weapon. The mysterious oil reserve inside its head. A life or death battle with the giant squid. sleeping upright, being exploited for centuries, and threats that continue to this day. One animal carrying all of this. So what do you think? What should humanity's attitude be toward a creature this advanced, this complex, this profound? Write it in the comments. I'm genuinely curious. If this video taught you something new, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like the video. Every bit of support helps content like this reach more people. And know this: the oceans are still full of secrets waiting to be discovered. We'll keep exploring those secrets together. See you in the next video.